Think about the last time you were sitting quietly, reading, scrolling, watching something on TV, and at some point, without any particular reason, you looked up and found your dog already looking at you. Not asking for food, not waiting by the door, just watching. You probably smiled, maybe said something to them, and went back to what you were doing. It felt sweet, normal, easy to overlook. But here's what most people don't realize. That moment, the quiet, unprompted gaze from across the room, is one of the most meaningful things your dog does. And it's happening far more often than you're aware of. Your dog is watching you, constantly, carefully, in ways that go far beyond what the average owner ever stops to notice. This video is about what that watching actually means. Because once you understand it, you won't be able to unsee it. You'll start noticing moments you've walked right past for years. And you'll realize your dog has been telling you something the entire time. Let's start with something researchers didn't fully appreciate until relatively recently. Dogs are extraordinarily good at reading human faces. Not just familiar people, human faces in general, but the faces of the people they live with. They've been studying those for years. Your dog knows the difference between your resting face and your stressed face. They know what it looks like when you're about to leave. They know the particular way your shoulders drop when you're relaxed, or how your movements change when something is wrong. This is called social referencing, and it's a behavior that dogs and humans actually share with very few other species. When something uncertain happens, your dog doesn't just react to the thing itself. They look at you first to understand how they should feel about it. A loud noise outside, a stranger approaching, a new piece of furniture in the living room. Before your dog decides whether that thing is a threat or nothing to worry about, they often check your face. Think about that. Your emotional response to the world is actually shaping your dog's emotional response to the world. They're using you as an interpreter. That gaze from across the room? Part of what's happening is your dog doing a quiet check-in. Is everything okay? Are we safe? You good? And 9 times out of 10, when they see your face relaxed and your body calm, they get their answer, and they go back to resting. Now, there's a particular kind of watching that happens during walks, and this one surprises a lot of people. You're moving through the neighborhood, your dog is pulling ahead slightly, sniffing a fence post, and then they stop. They look back at you. Most owners assume this means their dog wants permission, or that they're checking whether to keep going. And sometimes that's true. But in a bonded dog, that look back often means something quieter. It's a form of location check, of emotional tethering. Your dog is not asking you for permission so much as they're confirming you're still there, that the two of you are still doing this together. There's a concept in attachment research called the secure base effect. It was originally studied in human children, the way a toddler will explore a room confidently as long as their caregiver is present and freeze or retreat the moment they're gone. Scientists found that dogs show a strikingly similar pattern. When their person is nearby, dogs explore further, engage more, recover faster from things that startle them. When that person disappears, the whole equation changes. That glance back during the walk is your dog doing exactly this. Touching home base, taking stock, and then, satisfied, returning to the business of sniffing. Watch for it on your next walk. You'll see it differently. There's another form of watching that's easy to misread, and this one happens most often when you're moving through your own home. Your dog follows you, from the bedroom to the kitchen, from the kitchen to the living room. You sit down, they settle nearby. You get up, they get up. Some people find this a little smothering. Others find it endearing. A lot of people assume it's about attention seeking, or that their dog is anxious. And sometimes, yes, it can reflect a dog who has trouble being alone. That's worth paying attention to, and we'll come back to that. But in many dogs, especially those with a long history with their person, following isn't about need. It's about preference. Your dog simply likes being in the same room as you. There's a reason for this that goes all the way back to how dogs evolved. For tens of thousands of years, dogs have lived alongside humans, sleeping in the same spaces, moving with the same groups, orienting their lives around human activity. The desire to stay close to you isn't a behavioral quirk. It's deeply written into what dogs are. What's interesting is what your dog does while they're following you. Many dogs don't stare at you continuously when they're nearby. Instead, they settle. They lie down. They rest in a way they rarely do when they're alone. Your physical presence, your smell, the sound of you moving around, the rhythm of your breathing is regulating something in them. You are quite literally their calm. Scientists have measured cortisol levels, the hormone associated with stress, in dogs when their owners are present versus absent. The difference is significant. Your dog's body responds to you being nearby, not because you're doing anything in particular, simply because you're there. So when your dog follows you into the kitchen and lies down while you make dinner, they're not being clingy. They're choosing the place where they feel best. Now here's the one that most people miss completely. Your dog isn't just watching you when they're awake. They're also watching you as they fall asleep. If your dog sleeps in your room or anywhere near you, pay attention to where their head points as they drift off. In many dogs, it faces toward you, or toward the door, so they can see you if you move. This is a vulnerability moment. Sleep is when an animal is most exposed. And the fact that your dog can sleep deeply in your presence, the loose, twitching, dreaming kind of sleep, is one of the quietest signals of trust that exists. Dogs don't sleep that way around everyone. In a new environment, around unfamiliar people, or when something feels off in a household, many dogs sleep lighter, more alert. Their body stays partially ready, even in rest. But around you, they let go. That heavy sigh before they drift off, the way their muscles soften, the way their paws sometimes twitch because they're dreaming. All of that is possible because they feel safe enough to fully leave the present moment. If your dog sleeps that way near you, it means something. It means you're the place where their guard comes down completely. Let's talk about the one behavior that carries the most information and is almost always overlooked. When your dog watches your face, they're doing something incredibly precise. Research has found that dogs, unlike most other animals, look to the right side of a human face first when reading emotional expressions. This isn't random. The right side of the face is more emotionally expressive for most people, controlled by the right hemisphere of the brain. Dogs have apparently learned this. They've adapted to read us in the way that gets them the most information. Your dog can distinguish between a happy face and an angry face, between calm and tense, between genuine attention and distracted presence. They can tell when your smile is real versus performative, though not in the way we describe it. What they're reading is muscle tension, micro movements, the way your eyes change when emotion is real. And they've been building this map of your face for as long as they've known you. This is why dogs often seem to know when you're having a bad day before you've said a word, before you've changed your behavior. Something in your face, or your posture, or the tension in your movements tells them. And they adjust. Some dogs press closer on difficult days. Some sit nearby and watch more carefully. Some become quieter, more settled, as if they've decided the right thing to do is just be still and available. Your dog isn't reading your mind, but they're reading you more fluently than most people in your life. There's a subtle variation of watching that's worth discussing because it can mean something different. Sometimes a dog's gaze isn't the soft, checking in kind. Sometimes it's more intent, more still. There's a quality to it that's harder to describe, but recognizable when you see it. A dog who watches from a physical distance they wouldn't normally keep. A dog whose gaze follows your hands rather than your face. A dog whose body looks subtly tense even when the environment is calm. These can be signals worth noticing, not with alarm, but with curiosity. Is there something in the household that's shifted recently? A new routine, a change in schedule, tension between people in the home, a health issue your dog might be responding to before anyone else has noticed? Dogs are extraordinarily sensitive barometers. They register stress in the home even when no one is raising their voice. They register grief. They register the particular flavor of distraction that comes with a hard week. If your dog's watching feels different lately, more vigilant, less relaxed, it may be worth slowing down and asking what they might be responding to. This isn't cause for worry. It's an invitation to pay attention. All of this brings us to something worth sitting with. We spend a lot of time wondering whether our dogs love us, whether they understand us, whether the relationship is as real as it feels. But your dog isn't wondering any of that. They've already made up their mind about you. They've already mapped the sound of your car in the driveway, the exact rhythm of your footsteps, the particular smell of you when you're relaxed versus when you're stressed. They've cataloged the way your face looks when you're about to take them somewhere and the way it looks when you're about to say goodbye. They know which sounds in your voice mean play and which ones mean something's wrong. All of that watching, the glances across the room, the checking back during walks, the eyes following you to the kitchen, the face turned toward you as they fall asleep, is not random behavior. It's an ongoing, deeply attentive relationship with you specifically, not with people in general, with you. Your dog has made you the most important piece of information in their world, and they're gathering data on you constantly, not out of anxiety, but out of connection. The next time you look up and find them already looking at you, it's worth pausing for a second before you smile and look away, because that gaze is them doing what they've always done, keeping track of you, making sure you're still there, deciding, again, that everything is okay. If your dog does that quiet checking in thing, that unprompted glance from across the room, tell me about it in the comments. I'd love to hear when you first noticed it. And if you want to keep learning about what your dog is actually trying to tell you, this channel is built for exactly that. Subscribe and join us. There's a lot more here worth knowing.